Hey there, my darlings. Right. I've got back to this after a long time. Because I got distracted with... Well, I did a lot of savage raiding and didn't really have much time for doing any of the story progress. As a result, I'm missing out on flying in this area. So I'm going to start by unlocking that first. N4486 is searching for a sparring subject. Initiating communication. This unit requires your participation in Omicron combat simulation. 98.8% of the past 12.5359 sessions have produced the exact same result, plus an unknown quantity such of yourself as required. An Omicron aggressor is positioned outside the base. This unit has instructed said opponent to record all combat session data. You may initiate your assault when your preparations are complete. Won't his records be destroyed if I smash it? Uncertainty detected. We're reviewing previous transmission. Verbal analysis suggests this unit has omitted crucial information regarding the current mission. This unit begs your pardon. Once you have nearly destroyed the aggressor, you are requested to activate this device, which will automatically transfer combat data to a convenient portable format. Initiating handover protocol. Sending coordinates. Per the transmission you have just received, this opponent is located on the planar frame extending from this base. Reconfiguring emotional state to grateful, where this unit thanks you for your cooperation. Per this unit's previous transmission, the opponent is located on the planar frame extending from this base. When the aggressor has been sufficiently damaged, you're requested to recover combat data using the device provided. The inquisitive Omicron is eager to understand certain phenomenon. Assistance requested. This unit has observed a curious phenomenon in which certain members of enemy factions have exhibited a marked increase in their combat capabilities. Analysis suggests that said members share unique, introspective bonds with others in their faction. These individuals were conferred titles such as consort and family. This unit detected no difference in physiology that would provide notable advantages in combat, yet the presence of introspective bonds alone led to an increase in performance. Records indicate that one member of a bond group exhibits this exponential improvement when others are eliminated. Potential benefits of such an augmentation are projected to be immense. Thus this unit's query: are you familiar with the aforementioned phenomenon? Where this is fortunate, as this unit has constructed a consort for research purposes. You are asked to delineate the method by which this unit might form an introspective bond with said consort. Requesting standby at present coordinates. Initiating consort retrieval. Activating introduction. This unit presents the aforementioned consort. At present, its capabilities are comparable to subordinate patrol units. How should we proceed? You can give it a pet name. Scanning identification database for records indicate this Omnicron is designated Test Unit 0043. This unit requests information that said appellation qualifies as sufficiently pet. Hesitance detected for new proposal. My beloved. A review of this unit's memory shows that a member of an enemy faction referred to its bondmate as such. Appellation change confirmed. New designation. My beloved. Reconfiguring emotional status to grateful. For this unit appreciates your assistance in facilitating the creation of a special bond with my beloved. Initiating phase 2 of experiment. This unit will evaluate whether the destruction of my beloved bears a positive impact on this unit's capabilities. Transmitting self-destruct command to my beloved. No! Analyzing unit status. For no changes in functionality detected. Possibility of transmission failure estimated at 78%. This unit asks that you confirm that my beloved has successfully executed the self-destruct command. Retrieval of remains also requested. Awaiting confirmation of successful transmission. Retrieval of remains also requested. Level checker one. A small and somewhat nerve device for recording combat data. In between the last time that I did a broadcast like this and now I managed to get my hands on the Endwalker soundtrack. This little that made me happy. it is. And I got this cute little fella. Look at him. My little wind-up beatress. Now let's get some experience from these. We're reviewing received transmission. Analysis suggests the aggressor is no longer operational. Requesting return of previously provided recording device. A device containing data from your fight against the Omicron aggressor. For some reason the screen reads a level 90 and its speakers are emitting a jaunty tune. You mean like da 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 da. Extraction of combat data complete. Analyzing. Where quality of data greatly exceeds expected values in all previous records. Reconfiguring emotional state to impress. The data suggests you summon significant levels of ether in order to defeat the aggressor. This unit will submit a request to the logistics matrix for the augmentation of protective apparatus. Surgeon database for situationally approximate axiom, where only through combat can we improve ourselves. Absence of new challenge results in stagnation. Records indicate this base has not encountered new threats in a considerable amount of time. This unit sees potential value in enduring attacks more frequently. So its Discord prevention module is buzzing in a most irritating fashion. For reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit appreciates your cooperation with the collection of combat data. Analysis suggests it will prove invaluable to the further development of base Omicron. It is a shame that this unit currently detects no hostility from you. Combat with a flesh-based life form such as yourself would prove useful to many here. While we do have data, many units lack adequate experience. It would be of great help if you decide to engage your combat loop. Requesting retrieval of my beloved. Potential for reconstruction and further experimentation remains high. What remains of the Omicron's consort after it self-destructed? Self-destruct confirmed successful. For sadly, experiment confirmed unsuccessful. Analysis of this unit's parameters shows no change in functionality. This unit will consider executing a family's simulation after reconsulting enemy faction data. But based on the results of consort simulation, termination of research may be advisable. Reconfiguring emotional state from disappointed to grateful. For this unit thanks you once more for your cooperation. Your proposed methodology may be implemented in future experiments. I've got a feeling that's going to explode into more quests, so I'm going to go up here first. get these two. Right. Thinking he is quite visibly ruminating. How fortunate that you are here, corporeal being, for we are in need of your assistance. I am sure you saw some of my kind drifting about the untamed wilds just over there. As I understand, they are binding their spirits together as one in hopes of diluting their consciousness and thereby erasing their sorrows. Unfortunately, the resulting amalgam doubtless longs for more minds to incorporate, and if other Ia approach it, we will be drawn into the growing mass against our will. Your corporeal form seems to outweigh your mental capacity, so you should be safe. However, please destroy the collective consciousness before it kills us all. Your ready acceptance gladdens me. I believe that, if you lay waste to 2 wandering souls, the amalgam will appear. Do be aware that while your mind is safe, it may present other dangers, should it realize what you're attempting. By my estimation, the amalgam should appear after 2 wandering souls are erased. I have no idea how these guys are supposed to sound, so I'm just doing my best. It's been that long ago since I talked. Non-Nuke appears to be staring right through you. Pardon me, traveller. I lack the sense of time as perceived by those infinite lifespans. But might you be able to spare a moment to speak with some of my fellow Ea? It is rare to find one so unmarred by the scars of deepest wisdom. Your appearance and perceptions as an outsider differ so much than our own. I wonder if a degree of interaction might prove stimulating for both parties. Much obliged. I shall mark their location on your map. They tend to spend considerable time frequenting their usual haunts. In case you are concerned, please know there is no need to be modest when you approach them. They can be quite sociable once you get to know them. Oh, you must be that traveller from beyond who has been causing quite a stir around our abode. What a stroke of luck! In fact, I've been hoping you might have the opportunity to exchange thoughts with you and your companions. For you see, I have too long whiled away my days in listless banality, drifting waywardly as my mental faculties dulled and slowed. I so longed to strike up a stimulating conversation with a traveller, yet for so long none would pay me visit. That said, I never imagined you would have such a strange physical form. Pray tell, how do you keep your balance? What keeps your innards from spilling out to one of the multiple orifices in your body? Oh, pardon me. Truly, I meant no offence. Clearly life in your world found this shape to be suitable, perhaps even necessary, for your survival. Perhaps our own original form was equally horrifying. Seeing you makes me wonder indeed what our corporeal forms once looked like. Would our limbs be as lanky and unwieldy? Would our heads and He is bulbous and unbalanced. Perhaps we resembled your kind in more ways than not. This place is so beautiful. I like all the backgrounds, colors. Sorry dude, it had to be done. Good camera. There's the one. Two down. Right, over here we go. How curious! An unfamiliar corporeal life form calls out to me as I wait in vain for the inevitable coming of the end. It is indeed the chance of a lifetime, mayhap of many lifetimes, and so I pose to you this question. Tell me, traveller, what is the true nature of life in the universe? Oh, that one is. I don't think it's what Elita would say, but I want to pick it. I would probably pick an Eternal Adventure. I want to pick that one. An Eternal Adventure. It would seem you still have much to learn, and yet I almost envy your blissful ignorance. It reminds me of feelings that I and my kind have long since forgotten. Of course, I can see the other response if I choose. Sorry. I want to see the other response. I see he made quick mark of the amalgam. Of course, it's well within each EA's rights to choose when they wish to end their existence, but to force others to join them, however accidental, is another matter. This horror ordeal has led me to contemplate how I should meet my own demise. Ah, but forgive me, I forgot such matters are not left to choice for your kind. Truthfully, I envy you, to go forth each day full of vigour, not knowing when your lives will be unexpectedly snuffed out. It must feel incredible. My apologies if I have made you uncomfortable. I am unused to speaking with mortals. Be assured that I appreciate your help, and you have given me much to think about regarding death, or perhaps life. Pick up that quest again. I hate when I have to choose between like the choice I would go for and the sort of funny choice. What a curious being you are. Have my peers discovered how to regain their corporeal forms while I remained lost in thought? No, of course not. Come to think of it, I wonder if whatever possessed the peculiar form that you do now. Oh dear. I fear this always happens when I delve too deep into such ruminations. The very moment I attempt to regain clarity, it triggers this most unpleasant reaction. If my fellow Ea have not found a way for us to reacquire our corporeal... Look at that. Share to deal with it. If my fellow Ea have not found a way for us to acquire our corporeality, perhaps it falls to me to mediate further upon the matter. In any event, what would you? Sherida, I told you to deal with it. What a curious being you are, yet. Have my peers discovered how to regain their corporeal form so I remained in thought? No, of course not. Come to think of it, I wonder if we ever possessed the peculiar form that you do now. Oh dear, I fear this happens when I delve too much into ruminations. The very moment I attempt to regain clarity, it triggers the most unpleasant reaction. If my fellow Ea have not found a way for us to reacquire our corporeality, perhaps it fails to me to mediate further on the matter. In any event, pray leave it to me and my cognitions. Might you kindly lead me to my ruminations? I dare say I'm nearly on the verge of a philosophical breakthrough. How curious that none from my corporeal form calls out to me, as I wait in vain for the unlikely content. Indeed, a chance of a lifetime made by nice times, and so I pose to you this question, tell me, traveller, what is the nature of life in the universe? 42? Why, precisely! That is the very conclusion I arrived at myself. How heartening and surprising! I dare say to meet one as light and lighting as myself. Hey! The end of our universe is inevitable. Our actions entirely devoid of meaning. This is the one and truly truth of existence. He must be that traverser from beyond who's been causing quite a stir around our abode. What a stroke of luck. In fact, I've been hoping you might have the opportunity to exchange thoughts with you and your companions. For you see, I have too long whiled away my days in useless banality, drifting waywards from my mental faculties dulled and slowed. I so longed to strike up a stimulating conversation with a traveller, yet for so long none would pay him a visit. That said, I never imagined you would have such a strange physical form. Pray tell, how do you keep your balance? What keeps your innards from spilling out to see one of the multiple orifices in your body? Oh, but pardon me, truly I meant no offence. Clearly life in your world found the shape suitable, perhaps even necessary, for your survival. Perhaps our own individual form was equally horrifying. Seeing you makes me wonder indeed what our corporeal forms once looked like. Would our limbs be lanky and unwieldy? Would our heads be bulbous and unbalanced? Perhaps if we resembled your kind in more ways than not. Did you encounter my acquaintances? I can only hope that they derive the same sense of stimulation from conversing with you as I myself did. For if so, we may yet discover a means to attain the moratorium known as death. Until that time, should you ever be in the mood for discussion on the profound and inevitable meaningless of the universe, we will be here waiting. Yes. Always waiting. Yeah! Fly here! I cannot help but feel a rush of excitement when I see your pliable yet sturdy form. I almost have to resist the urge to open you up and see how it all works. Now, be at ease. I would not devolve to such savagery. I may have cast off my body, but I still possess some semblance of a rational mind. For the moment at least. Let's see, I have 3 areas to go to. This is where I need to go if I want to go to the special fate. I couldn't go last time because I couldn't fly. Now I can fly, I can get there. I was so sad that I couldn't go there. But now, let's see. What else do we have here? One more area to explore. Ooh, that's so cool. Yay! The realm has been mapped. Now I have a bunch of side quests to do all over the place. This is going to take a while. The Omicron guards regards a word of advice. Requests a word of advice. Where this unit has received orders from Sigma 1 to patrol base Omicron, review of these orders indicate they supersede any other incoming directives. No exit condition has been specified, however scan of areas surrounding current coordinates shows no enemy factions are present. This unit thus questions the value of endlessly looping its patrol protocol. Analysing potential outcomes of repetitive movement, where cross-reference of Omicron schematics suggests current behavioural pattern has an 86% chance of negatively impacting future mobility. This unit requests suggestions for supplemental motions that do not conflict with current orders. Try singing while you patrol? Reviewing Notion database, where this unit is not equipped with the functionality to adjust its inflection while transmitting audible data. Issuing alternative proposal, move this unit's appendages in time with extrapolated rhythms from said singing. Verifying information, proposed movements identified as dancing. Initial analysis suggests these motions may facilitate a diagnostics check of this unit's joint modules and postural calibration systems. Attempting for insufficient reference data, this unit requires a visual of dancing to analyze and simulate accordingly. Insufficient reference data for dancing for this unit requests that you provide a visual to analyze and simulate accordingly. I have lots of dances, but none of these are what you want. It's gonna be just my standard Aussie dance. I will show you my dance. Watch my dance. Spin, spin, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Ta-da! Movement patterns identified, where review of this unit's memory confirms that no data previously existed for the displayed motions. Simulation difficulty undetermined. However, analysis suggests that the proposed movements serve no practical purpose and do not conflict with current orders. Proposal meets parameters of initial request. Preparing to gyrate joint modules. Prior to execution, this unit requests confirmation that gyration can be activated alongside other units. Processing response for tentative approval detected, issuing rendezvous data in order to subordinate Omicron guards near current coordinates. This unit requests you stand by outside the base. Transmission of visual data is complete, though potential to accurately reconstruct the proposed motions may be limited by range of movement. This unit requests that you observe and evaluate replication of motion data. Reviewing performance, where analysis suggests that difficulty of dancing greatly exceeded expected values. Further analysis indicates potential application of said motions as combat maneuvers. No exit condition has been specified. This unit requests orders to free itself from gyration loop. Termination order confirmed, where this unit thanks you for your swift action and further requests performance appraisal. It looked like a lot of fun. Recording feedback, where reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit appreciates your invaluable input and will incorporate received feedback into future programs, returning to base Omicron. Accuracy of simulation estimated at 42.3%. Further review of motion data required. Diagnostics check of joint modules and posture calibration systems indicates favourable outcomes. This unit detects value in augmented current orders with new challenges. Future protocols will incorporate gyration loops with appropriate exit conditions. Reinitiating gratitude protocol, for this unit thanks you for providing useful data. You're requested to observe the Omicron's improved dancing at an unspecified future time. Await further instructions. Tessie wishes to express their gratitude to you. Words cannot express my gratitude to you, traveller, as it is thanks to you that I now remember the wonderfully unpleasant pangs of hunger. 'Tis truly a blessing. And since you are here, allow me to ask you a question. Have you perhaps come across an Iya at the very edge of the land, gazing vacantly into the great beyond? I would like them to join me for dinner, if I may trouble you to ask. I believe my friend would appreciate the finer pleasures of eating as well. I merely hope they have not already drifted too far. The anxious Iya looks longingly skyward. Still no response. I wonder if they have already scattered to the wind. That would be ever so unfortunate, you see. My, what a large cranial dome you have, and impeccable timing. My esteemed colleague often holds the council at their home here, but they have not emerged in quite some time. Perhaps you could pay a visit and see what the trouble may be. They may be a bit taken aback if a stranger invades their thoughts, so I would advise transmitting a happy sentiment to show you mean them no harm. Leave me. There's, nothing left. The anguished groans of the Iya are resonating in your head. Tell the anxious Iya that you were able to find remnants of their friend's thoughts. I see. If they mean to melodramatically evanesce into the abyss in comfort of their own home, then I ought to respect their wishes. And yet I feel a need to be selfish and keep them here to confabulate further on such views. Yes, I shall have to talk them out of it. For that I shall need your help once more. Large-headed but wholly capable stranger, could you fetch me a neurological sinew from the other one? Will you find them wandering about the wellspring of regret? Ruth has something to ask you. I have a question, one that can only be answered by a being of flesh and bone. Will you hear it? Thank you. Before I ask, however, I require you learn more of my kind, lest your answer be senseless and vapid. You can come to know us through our final words, though, alas, you cannot comprehend them in your corporeal form. Thus I shall temporarily free you from your body, allowing you to perceive as we Iya do. Please indicate when you're ready to shuffle off your mortal coil. You have prepared, yes? Very well. After you have been liberated, I ask that you read 3 epitaphs ere returning to me. Please brace yourself, as there is recorded evidence that this may feel weird. I ask that you read 3 epitaphs and return to me. I gasp eternity, yet hold only loss. If forever has an end, why has it not come? With no future, we turn to the past, knowing none have turned to our present. We are the dead end. I've hit upon a fine verse, haven't I? We fought to go beyond our star. We fought to go beyond our dimension. We fought for nothing. You have read them. This is well. However, you have yet to look upon our most important text. Please seek it in the charming wooded area outside our home. The price of eternity is joy, its gift unending sorrow. Yes, what do you want of me, stranger? Food? What is this food you speak? Oh, yes, I do believe I begin to remember. Victuals, sustenance. That said, your unusual appearance suggests to me that our concepts of what constitutes a meal differ greatly. Pray tell, do you enjoy the act of eating? If it tastes good, of course. Intriguing. What precisely constitutes something tasting good? I surmise this means that it evokes feelings of pleasure within you. I too wish I could experience this concept of taste for myself. Sadly, in my current state, such things are not possible. Or perhaps you might briefly lend me your corporeal form for the experience. I promise that I will give it back once my curiosity is sated. Well, you cannot blame me for asking, but it is no matter. I shall take it by force. The yearning Ia appears to be gazing at you intently. Greetings, unfamiliar life form. Being that you bear a corporeal form as surely as I, as you can see, do not. Perhaps you might offer me a way out of my predicament. You see, I have been attempting to fashion a vessel that may house our weary souls. Sadly, with no model to work from, I am ashamed to admit my experiments have failed, and rather spectacularly at that. You may have noticed the byproducts of my failed labours, as I now wander aimlessly as pathetically about these environments. I had intended to clean up the mess myself, but the task might prove difficult for a formless being such as myself. Might you put the physical creatures out of their misery in my stead? I thank you, curious one. If you might also retrieve for me their internal cores in the process, I dare say it would be of great benefit to me in the future experiments. In any event, I eagerly await word of your inevitable success. Still lingering, are you? If you have forgotten the task, you are to hunt down 2 of those unfortunate Luminons and retrieve for me their cores. You need worry about nothing else. I understand there is much here that is beyond your unenlightened mind's comprehension. The envious Ia heaves a sigh as they look upon your body up and down. Ah, look at those rosy cheeks and sharp silhouette. While our own decision to discard our corporeal forms was of course an enlightened one at the time, I must confess there are some times when I fondly think back on the days when I too was a tangible being. Oh, what I would give to don proper fleshy arrangements once more before I pass into the void. To that end, I have been exploring the possibility of inhabiting another physical form. But I fear there is a rub, for you see, I cannot for the life of me recall what my true form once was. I blame it on the execrable and excruciating flow of time. Alas, I doubt I could even manipulate my body now, if I wanted to. Mayhap you might indulge me with a serviceable demonstration. Your elongated appendages greatly contrast with our current gaseous composition, but I wonder if your genial sense of mobility was similar to that of our original physical presences. So let's see it then. Humour me with a display of sheer joy. Go on, use the entire breadth of your unwieldy yet somehow charming physique. An exaggerated overture of joy, if you please. Intriguing. You discharge a great sound from your phonery appendage and make these rather suggestive gestures. Quite different from how we express delight with subtle telepathy. Now, I would like to replicate the movements in preparation for the next time I meet an innocent and amicable traveller like yourself. Ahem, allow me to try. In the process, I may gain some insight as to whether our erstwhile bodies once moved in a similar manner. It seems I cannot fully mimic the vocations you produce, nor can I garner enough momentum against the air to move my body as quickly. Let me try a different approach. I feel as though I have a comparable frame, especially those tentacle-esque appendages dangling from your sides. What did you call them again? Hands, was it? Anyhow, I am curious to the degree of velocity you can generate with said appendages. Should you be agreeable, I would like you to swing those hands with such great speed and strike me with as much force as you can muster. Worry not, being that I have no corporeal form, no manner of physical blow can deal me much harm. Now come now, strike me with your appendages hard as you can. My word, the impact of that strike was so considerable that I felt it to the very depths of my soul. I can only hope there were no feelings of genuine hatred or indignation behind it. But alas, it is no use. Even your most energetic motions seem so insufficient to jog my memory. Perhaps our physical frames were not so analogous after all. If that is the case, I will make one more request of you. You have ventured to many different places and met many different life forms, have you not? Among the many creatures you have met, is there not one that possessed a similar form to that which you might surmise we once did? There's a tribe of beasts who are resistant to touch and squeak when they move. And I know of a portly Piscaine race with tails and long whiskers. Fascinating, if a bit difficult to picture. Mayhap you could hold an image of them in your mind's eye for me. I shall read it and attempt a metamorphosis. Well, they are somewhat rotund and with ocular facilities of a comparable size. Allow me to perform a locomotive experiment with this body shape. Very well then. First a gesture of joy, then a vivacious slap to the face. Oh dear. I see that the clammy appendages beside this creature's voluntary apparatus are distinct from the hands that you possess, and somehow I feel the urge to utilize them, despite their absence. Given that my immediate synaptic responses are misaligned, it would seem that the erstwhile forms of we Ea are, unfortunately, rather dissimilar from your Piscine friends. I apologize for the needless endeavor. How bothersome it is to be unable to assimilate with the frame of another creature for lack of memory. It would seem that regaining our physical forms will be more challenging a task than we originally suspected. While today's experiment has ended in failure, I appreciate the simulation you have provided me. Take this as compensation for your efforts. Yes, the mind is a fickle thing. I only hope that I will recall what I once looked like while I still possess my mental faculties. Jaw Jag emits a muffled noise resembling a cough. Fleshy one, come hither. I have a task of some import I would entrust to you. Worry not. It should be well within your capabilities. You see, I wish to summon back one of my fellow EM who lingers at the gate to the beyond. To what end they wait there, I do not know. What I do know is that if they do not return to us, their spirit will eventually unravel, leaving them nothing but a wandering entity like those on the outside. And so I would ask you to summon them back to our abode before they are consigned to such a fate. Can you do this for me? Leave it to me. I am much obliged. Simply make for the gate and call out to my friend. Might I suggest a variant of the traditional EA beckoning? Allow me to demonstrate. Ahem. Coo. Does my fellow ES still linger by the gate to spawn? Pray summon them back to our abode. Right, one more quest to pick up here. Bob Luke is whispering to themselves anxiously. Oh, hello, forgive me, I am distracted. One would think we have evolved beyond fear, knowing what we must do, but I must confess that I am rather frightened at the prospect of losing who I am. Not in a physical sense, of course, as we EF transcend our normal corporeal forms. We do, however, feel the gradual corrosion of our mind, our memories, that which makes us us, so to speak. There are ways, however, to slow this inevitable process. One such method is to come into contact with another and confirm with each other our defining qualities. Therein lies my dilemma, for you see, a friend most dear to me is missing, and I fear their absence will only quicken their own passing into nothingness. It would mean much to me if you could help them find me. Should they be so far gone as to meet with you hostility, simply subdue them and return them to me. Here, you can use this to bind their essence to a retrievable form. There may be some hope. They enjoyed taking contemplative strolls at once scenic spot on the opposite edge of this landmass. Even if their memories fade, it is likely they may drift in that direction. I do hope my friend has not wandered too far from the abode. The consequences could be most disastrous. With the chapman insane, use your keyboard or software to enter interface containing the word coup to call it to EM. My little darling, yeah. Is that a beckoning I hear? The timbre of your cooing sounded rather dull. Anyhow, if it is I you seek, you will find me to the north of where you stand. Are you the one who summoned me? No wonder your voice sounded so strange with that fleshy body of yours. I have not seen your kind before. Might you have come here from afar? I see, then you must be very privileged to have stumbled upon us. This gate here serves as the lingus to our bastion of enlightenment. All who come from afar to seek such knowledge must pass through. I had stood here for so long, expecting a visitor. Perhaps it is you for whom I have waited. I could see myself ready to greet someone from another world. But why do you come to us now, in this moment? And why from the village, not toward? Oh, did they now? That is an unexpected development. In any event, I was waiting for someone. And that someone has come. There is no need to wait further. Let Jag be assured that I shall return anon. So, you have read all that was left behind? Those inscriptions were written by the first of our kind, the first to know the pinnacle of enlightenment, and the first to know the depths of despair. They have prepared you to answer my question. As someone bound to a corporeal form, do you think there is hope to be found in life? Of course there's hope. Fascinating. It must be precisely that spongy form which allows you to cling to the intangible unto death. How fortunate for you. That was most edifying. Creatures of flesh enjoy shiny tokens, do they not? Please, have some as thanks. Strange as it may seem, the longer I linger here, the less the matter of epitaph concerns me. Moreover, I find myself drawn to the herefore unthinkable idea that there may even be some value in prolonging my existence. Have I been afflicted by some curious malady? You have returned, and yet you wear a troubled expression. Did something amiss happen out there on your travels? Oh dear, to think their minds had already deteriorated to such an extent. I knew their mental decline had progressed, and I had been worried they would eventually go mad and drift away, but I had hoped the memories of a good meal could bring them back to us, but to attempt to rob someone of their physical form like that, it would seem they were already well beyond my reach. I'm quite sorry for having forced you in such an uncomfortable position, as well as the unceremonious way in which you were treated by one of our own. Here, pray accept this as a token of our most sincere apologies. Your presence has been the most stimulating for us, as it has helped us regain memory of intellectual concepts we had long since lost. We would very much like it if you could remain in perpetuality, but alas, it would appear you suffer from the most inconvenient affliction of mortality. I am pleased to inform you that our friend has returned, and our debates are more amusing for it. It seems I was wise to enlist the help of an outsider. As you may be aware, this settlement was originally conceived as a place where we might explore and one day solve the mysteries of our universe. Many EA made the pilgrimage here to contribute to this great cause. Oh, how little we knew. As such, it is not uncommon for someone to wait at the gates for a guest. Tradition, really. However, my friend, for whatever the reasons, waited overly long. So long their spirit remembers the act itself, but they have no memory of who they wished to meet there. Now you have come for them, they feel that they fulfilled what they set out to do. They have been set free from the lingering thoughts that bound them. At any rate, I am grateful for you to return my friend to our ranks. Here, I would offer this as a token of thanks. Furthermore, I am relieved that you were able to make the beckoning call in the right tone. If you had queued instead of cooed, it would have been an equivalent of telling them that their mind was empty as a hollow crater, and I doubt they would have been amused. My dear friend was so close to choosing to quietly end their existence. Fortunately, they recently discovered the value of stimulating intellectual debate, and in doing so, were able to remain in control of their facilities. I cannot say for sure what led to this most serendipitous conclusion, but I am pleased that we can continue our philosophical engagements. Very pleased indeed. Well, do the unwitting products of my labour suffer no more? And have you brought back their cores to me? If so, do return them to me. Crystalline core obtained from the slain luminum. Yes, these are without a doubt the cores from the doleful hearts of my kind. While I am disheartened to see my efforts end this way, I can only learn what I can from my failures, that my future experimentations might give rise to a satisfactory vessel. In any event, it has been quite some time since we have encountered any entities with even the modicum of intelligence, as you seem to possess. I dare say our conversations have provided us with a sliver of stimulation that has eluded us for ages. I am grateful for your assistance in more ways than one. I do hope the day will come when we can one day meet each other. How might you say it? In the flesh? Allowing for mysterious and frustrating course fashion to subdue and capture non-controllable entities. All that remains of an unfortunate EA who wandered too far from the abode, and in doing so lost what little remained of themselves. It's no use. The walls of their humble abode are far too thick for my telepathy to penetrate. Did you bring me this sinew? This mask of nerve tissue procured from another one still pulsates unsettlingly in your hands. Perfect. This zigzagging fibrous cord is exactly what I need to amplify my empathy. These do extinguish quickly, but it should be enough for me to rile my friend with some provocative persiflage. A moment, please. My mind still smarts. Your worn-out jape was bad enough, but did you have to shock me as well? I had entirely forgotten that, despite coming out of a dumb beast, the neurological sinew from the other one would still transmit its last jolting thought, the killing blow you dealt it. Yes, well, it was enough to traumatize me back onto this plane. That much is certain. I think I shall take a stroll around the plaza to rid myself of that unpleasant sensation. Good day. My friend always was a bit melodramatic in their conduct, but I do believe I will have to keep a closer eye on them from now on. Aside from their close call with dispersion, they are showing other signs that they are losing their faculties. We have a friendship that spans millennia. They can stand to wait a bit longer until the void takes us all. It would be dreadfully boring without their curt, fatalistic commentary. That being said, I shall make for the plaza as well. If they somehow manage to careen towards the alliteration tank, I shall be very irritated. Oh, and I do very much appreciate your assistance. I do not have much to offer, but I hope this shall suffice. Thank you for saving my friend's life. I have searched throughout the abode, but my companion is nowhere to be found. I wonder if it is too late. The poor thing, to think they were so far gone. Still, I am glad you're able to find them. This will now allow me to absorb what remains of their mind into my own. There is no cause for alarm. The procedure should have negligible consequence on my faculties. If my friend can no longer recognize me, I have no choice but to become host for the memories they themselves can no longer recall. These visions, yes, these are my friend's memories. They have grown faint with the loss of the owner's identity, but they have not dissipated completely. And what is this? Yes, they still have memories of me. Dim as they are, they now serve to remind me of who I myself once was. And yet, as the memories come together, the identity that is Bob Book begins to flicker and waver. Yes, I must speak the final words that will become my epitaph while I am able. Fortunately, there is someone here who will remember them for me. In my final moments, I must define myself. I would call myself a realist. Others would call me a coward. Which am I to believe as I become one with the void? And in the end, does it matter? Yes, that should do. That said, I feel most peculiar. I am not of one mind now, but two. In truth, I am not even sure those words I recited were my own. All I know is that these words reflect the me that exists now, for I, standing before you, did recite them, and even if one day my identity should dissipate, these words will remain with you as a vestige of what I once was. That is of some comfort to me, for no one should be forgotten, even if they forget themselves. I hope your own memories will live on long within you, and within those who have shared this existence with you. Are my thoughts able to reach you? I had composed the most disconsolate of dirges to express the state of the universe, but the melody already threatens to elude. Ah, there it goes, and my memory continues to fade. Little wanderer, hast thou the courage to ken what awaits beyond this oasis? My kin, twisted body and soul, are turned to ash, all long since rotted underneath. Wilt thou venture amongst these horrors, to see if our brother yet stands? Ne'er hath he moved from his place of mourning, ere his consort was thus entombed. Would that I could bring him the solace of a gentle touch, but I dare not seek him now. Shouldst thou wish it, thou shalt know him in the pallor of Forsaken. I prithee, journey past the fissures, beyond even Amnal, and seek my closest of kin. His wounds are many, but by a gentle touch they may be soothed for a time. Thou canst leave this place. Find my child in my stead, I beg thee. She doubtless wants for her mother's warmth, but my kin permit me not to quit this nest. They feign contrition, yet if they truly pitied me, they would allow me to seek my child. Thou must go and assure me of her safety. The last I saw of my child, she was but a short distance from the shallow lake. Ask her how she fares, I beg thee. The overwrought dragon can no longer find it in himself to relax. Hark! The grinding and shuddering of steel bodies, the metal, it cometh. Thou hearest not. Mayhaps thy species hath not the sensitivity, yet the machines come nevertheless. Seek a vantage from which thou mayst witness their dread approach. Then hearken to my words, and flee. Flee, stranger, shouldst thou value thy life. Tiny traveler, thou hast traversed the great expanse to stand before me. I ask thee, on thy journey, didst thou find strength? None here have been spared the torment of loss, yet even tragedy cometh not in equal measure. Nay, of all my kin, the brood-sires feel it most deeply. Eggs crushed before their eyes, hatchlings twisted beyond recognition. They cannot be blamed for turning to madness. One I would have for you slay, for my own power sufficeth not to end her suffering. She yet wandereth, restless, near the ash-choked lake, though naught but poison is to be found there now. The lake lieth beyond the verified fort. End the broodmother's suffering, I beg thee. Come closer, little one. I must ask thee, did the pitiable dragonet meet its end at thy hand? Yes. Though I cannot find it in my heart to thank thee, nor shall I admonish thee, the young one would have suffered every living moment, as do we all. Though some torments are more easily borne. If thou wouldst prevent further needless suffering, pray seek my shelled king at the shallow lake. He hath wallowed overlong in hatreds beyond healing. Wait by the waterside, and he will find thee. Ere the mechanical menace descended, the spring before thee was clear as the purest glass. Now behold the vile blight upon it. Should we do nothing, naught shall remain, save poison and black ash. Alas, my roar no longer rings loud enough to cleanse these waters, and my kin here fare little better. Yet at times I hearken unto a faraway call, strong and resounding, though I know not whence it came. Wouldst thou seek its source, that our wellspring might be saved? I shudder to imagine the fetid springs upon thine own star, with only thy tiny voices to cleanse them, or perhaps thy kind gathereth to roar as one. I sense the power of one of my kin upon thee, that of a great worm long departed from our star, though his gaze falleth not upon thee now. Midgar's Sommer, then that is the name by which thy kind know him. Long ago he left us, fleeing our home with his children. From thy presence I surmise the decision is the right one. Some yet wish they had chosen the same path, though such regrets avail them not. Nevertheless, tales of thy star may divert them from their anguish for a time. Seek those who would hear thee in Ria Tara, and unto the verified isle, tiny mortal. Two with whom I would have speak, abide within this very nest. One yet remaineth by the battlefield. Traveller, thy coming hath stirred a longing in me. From where I lie I behold naught but a desolate waste, but perhaps life doth persist beyond my ken. The smallest of creatures, or a single building blossom. It may remain ever beyond my reach, for these wounds of mine heal not with time, yet I would know of them. I would know if any cause for hope lingereth still upon our star. I beg thee grant me a reason to take heart. The great worm did take his leave of the star, yes, I remember him well. Are there many such tiny creatures on the star whence he fled? Many of all shapes and sizes. Then thy star too knoweth war. Differences lead only to conflict. No matter how far thou venturest, thou cannot flee from this truth. No more could I. This fate was inevitable. It must have been. Leave me, tiny creature, I have much to ponder. Thou hailest from the star, to which our brother fled. Tell me then, doth thy home boast resplendent vistas as ours once did? It has wondrous islands that float among the clouds. Ah, though I shall never again soar through the clouds, perchance I may bask in the splendour of such isles when next I slumber. I prithee journey past the fishers, beyond even Amnal, and seek my closest of kin. His wounds are many, but a gentle touch they may be soothed for a time. Soon I may dream of the visions thou hast imparted to me. Drink not of this spring, taint thou its waters, and thy dainty form hath not the capacity to withstand it. I would not fain waste my energies on thy lost cause, morsel. Begone with thee, ere you find yourself betwixt my teeth. Apologies, I was unaware I was addressing a dragonette. Dost thou wish to be devoured? With my peerless roar shall I demonstrate the futility of thy pursuit, then savour the despair upon thy countenance, when thou art forced to admit defeat. Get thee astride my back, I cannot abide watching thy stunted limbs struggle. The water ripples slightly, but you're unable to detect any significant changes. Now dost thou ken my wisdom. We may attempt another angle, shouldst thou thirst for greater despair. The spring appears slightly cleaner for a moment, but you're unable to detect any significant changes. Admit thy defeat. The spring shall never regain its lost splendour. Though, if tale be true, thou art not the only fool in need of this lesson. Let us speak of that old worm.
Mayhaps 'twas too much to ask these waters would run clear once more. Thou shouldst know that such dreams are folly. To live is one matter, but to hope is not so futile as thou wouldst believe. Hearken closely. I drank this spring not moments ago. Though the difference be slight, it tasted less brackish than before. Thine actions were not wasted. Thou sought to restore it to its crystalline state. Thy aspirations had failed, in sooth. However, I suppose 'tis proof enough that my roar still possesses grace power, despite the darkness that consumeth me. In that sense, perhaps thou art correct that some good results from mine efforts, and thine more so. For any change, no matter how small, I am grateful. To recall the taste of pure water once more, and to know that we have yet the power to fight our decline. Others shall doubtless be heartened. Keep thine ears open, for one day thou may hearken to a chorus of dragon's roars. I'm gradually getting through these quests. Dragonland stares unbreakable across the desolate landscape, eyes glassy enough that we cannot be certain she even remains among the living. Clearly all is not well with this dragon. Her mother would surely wish to know. The dragon, like so many others, is merged in his own grief. You may draw his attention if you pet him gently, as clearup suggested. Pet the dragon. Hey, dragon! Pet. Thy gentle caress, like unto the warmth of more joyous times. Thou art not of my kind, why hast thou come? So he has not yet forgotten me. I pity him. At times I wonder if my love doth pity me in return, all of us unchanging, unable to be reborn. Yet if naught else remains of us, we have memory, thus do I remain beside my beloved, through 1,000,000 quiet moments, forever. There's a better way to honor your love. Weave a song. Thou believest I need not languish in silence? Perhaps thou wert correct. My beloved was a generous noble, and took much joy in our skies. None is more deserving of a proud melody. I have not the strength to weave it in this moment, but perhaps in time I thank thee for guiding me aright. Pray tell clearup we will meet again. No one but dragons here, forsooth. No one but dragons here, forsooth. No one but dragons here, forsooth. Dost thou wonder who lieth beneath this veil of ash? 'Twas with this worm at my side that I looked to the skies and saw thy Midgard summer departing for the great expanse. The machines were already upon us. He called to us, those of us who still lived, and begged us follow him, that we might find another star and start anew. Alas, most branded him a coward who lacked the fire to defend his home. When he left, 'twas with his own eggs, The mightiest of the machines gave chase as he fled, to many of my kin's jeering approval. The coward had proven useful, they said. However, some few did wish to follow him. Midgard Summer was wiser and more formidable than most. This they believed. This they knew would forge a better fate than awaited us here. Would that they had not been halted by the ferocity of the machine's onslaught in the end. Thou hast my gratitude for coming so far to meet thine own friend. Thy tale means more to us than thou shalt ever know. Return with me now to Riatara. Thou art doubtless eager to away from this ill-favoured place. The land is barren as far as the eye can see. No life is to be found here. A red flower that presumably once flourished on the Dragon Star. A white flower that presumably once flourished on the Dragon Star. No one but dragons here, forsooth. This cannot be. Thou must have given her a dreadful fright for her to freeze so, though she hath never been fond of strangers. 'Tis clearer than ever that I must see her myself, if only I could be free from the watchful eyes of my consort. Not moments ago did I feel his gaze upon me, once so loving, yet now so bitterly cold. How he doth patronize me! Thine eyes speak curiosity. My consort was much the same, in times past, ever desiring to know more. A pity he changed so. Nevertheless, he would surely divulge much, if thou were to speak with him. Thou needst only seek the pleasant countenance here. Curiosity reigneth in thy mind. Is this not so? My consort has thy answers thou seekest. Verily she was, my beloved consort, but she is lost to me now. Thou sought her progeny, didst thou not? Then thou knowest as well as I, that Dragoman was stripped of all she was by the machines. I recall the battle, the burst of heat and light, her smouldering form. I know not what occurred then, but when I returned to myself, she was there, neither dead nor truly alive, as if imprisoned in her final moments by some cruel deity. And so she hath remained ever since. When she found us, my consort broke somewhere deep within. She seeth not beyond her child, though I do not imagine she sees her true. And now she hath gone, thou knowest whence. 'Twas inevitable. Though no hope remaineth in my heart, I should like to know what hath become of them. The mother lies still, never again to awake. My dear, I shall love unto the end of time. Dragon expects me. It is strange, though no stranger than the rest, perhaps. Thou couldst not change their fates, yet in learning our tale, thou hast come to share my burden, and theirs as well. I thank thee. How fareth my kin? I see, thou art wiser than thou knowest, for a brother was once renowned for his verse. It would be an honour and a joy to hear his voice raised in song again. Perhaps when next you return, thou shalt hear it as well. Thou art returned. What didst thou ken? Naught but dragons, verily. Perhaps thou speakest in sooth. That mechanical cacophony plagueth me without cease, though I swear 'tis clearer now than it hath ever been. Should this be naught but thine own fears, return fiercer with each coming? I know not how to quit myself of them. Find strength in your comrades, and together overcome your fears. Thou art strong. Would that my kin had sought what you have found. Though there may yet be time, naught can alter history's course, but the future awaiteth still. I thank thee for thine insight, courageous one. So it is done. I heard his dying cry. His bloodline was the strongest of the armoured ones, possessed of carapaces like unto stone, yet even they were not impervious to the metal fiend's onslaught. It took but one to raise their nest. Even now, its terrible form doth linger in my mind, the four jaws that raven neath a shroud of steel. And to the few who escaped the carnage, life has gifted naught but despair. They yearn for vengeance, though our enemy has long since quit this place. As thou hast witnessed, they now turn all too quickly to indiscriminate violence. Alas, this only feedeth the fires of their guilt. Never doth it quell them. Nay, I fear that only death hath that power. Ere the metal cavemen came many and splendid, elegant worms like into the crystal water, worms possessed of limbs so powerful as to rend the land in twain. Worms I have long since forgotten, faces lost to the tides of time. Thy countenance speaks volumes. I thank thee. The metal demon struck without warning, beautiful and pitiless as falling stars. We fought, yes, yet for all our savagery we failed to protect the young. What few survived emerged from their eggs, disfigured and screaming. Would that fate had taken a different course, we might have welcomed them to this world together, and guided them to a brilliant future. like our summer's children still live on. So the young have found their place elsewhere. Our kind shall live on. I am gladdened to hear that not all was in vain. May thy path lead thee true, traveller. Long ago hatchlings were marked by song and merriment. Alas, such joy will never be ours again. Nay, we shall curse the machines that stole all we held dear unto the end of time. Thou hast rendered solace unto us when we had naught but sorrow. I thank thee, Elita Draconia. To dwell in the past yieldeth not. Our desires meant little to our destiny, unless now. Yet regrets find me nevertheless. Final quest. Dost thou return with glad tidings? Flowers, a joyous sight. Are there more whence these came? Didst thou find a thriving forest, or a resplendent field? These are sort of it. 'Tis as I feared. To see it now, canst thou even imagine our star once teemed with life? How it flourished beneath golden sun, in a trio of moons, stars shining like gemstones in the night. My breathlin and I loved naught more than to soar amidst the clouds of green, teaching our eager hatchlings the delights of the hunt. These flowers once grew upon the mountain tops there, high among the clouds, so small that it seemed to us their fruit better suited to feeding our star's tiniest creatures. We rarely paid a single blossom any mind. Yet together, vibrant with the turn of the seasons, they were breathtaking. Would that I could return to appreciate the sight as we should have then. I had nearly forgotten what this world once was. Though it may never be so again, thou hast my gratitude for returning to me these precious memories. Would that life bloomed upon our star once more, that the hope yet dwelleth in my breast, not to be in vain. That is all the quests completed in Ultima Thule for now. I shall continue my quest clear up at another date. I hope you all enjoyed the viewing. I am now gonna put my character to bed. And good night and sweet dreams to you all. I love all you very much. Take care. Bye for now. Bye. Love you all.